detained. He is arresting her for being on a public playground. He is arresting her right now.
Terrorized parents for years to fulfill their sick power fantasies. Sara Brady is one of those parents who has been relentlessly targeted and terrorized. She's a mom who got arrested for the crime of taking her children to a playground during COVID. How dare you?
Wow. Some people would not know tyranny if it locked them in their homes, shut down their business, and arrested them for going outside. Going. That's right, people. Remember the April 2020 park mom who was arrested for taking her kids to a public park? 2.5 years later, they are still going after her because she challenged the narrative. Sara Brady is facing a political witch hunt by Attorney General Lawrence Wasden and the Ada County Courthouse. And 2.5 years later, she finally sees the inside of a courtroom to get a judge to hear her case. The only reason they would drag us out for 2.5 years is political witch hunt on Sara Brady. Given that we basically live in George Orwell's 1984 already, Lawrence Wasden is going all in to try and get political opposition in jail by the time he leaves office. The courtroom is the Orwellian depiction of Room 101 from 1984, and they are gonna try one final time while they have the chance to have their way with those who question the narrative.
Right this way for the boring circus. Boring circus, right this way. How you doing? Well, we argued a couple of motions about dismissing the case and asked the court to reconsider a previous motion to dismiss that Sarah's former attorney had requested about a year ago. And we made some arguments about the constitutionality of these charges and whether or not they involve free speech and whether they involve sufficient notice for Sarah to know what she's on the hook for.
Right, Sarah, how do you think it went today?
I think it went well. My lawyer did a really great job arguing the motion that's on the table.
So, this is a long process. Why keep this up? What is it that you are fighting?
Well, this has been a long process, but it shouldn't have been a long process. We're at 2.5 years, and my right to a speedy trial has been violated 2 times because the courts have canceled 2 trials that I prepared for, and I've spent $25,000. At the end of the day, I didn't break the law, and I'm defending myself, even though the state of Idaho has offered a $50 ticket. If I just plead guilty, the thing is, at the end of the day, my innocence isn't worth $50 to me. It's worth a lot more than that.
Why are they keeping it up, do you think?
Well, I think that's a great question. Why keep it up? How much taxpayer money has been spent on a case where I simply was standing on wood chips asking questions of a police officer?
So, you have another hearing in another month or so. Just, you feel confident?
You know, honestly, after 2.5 years, I've stopped having expectations. You know, the justice system to me represents the injustice system. I haven't had due process. I'm still waiting. You know, I would like to have my day in court. We've had, again, 2 trials that have been canceled by the courts and put on hold. And, you know, to be honest, I just try not to have high expectations.
So you will take it all the way to the jury trial?
Absolutely.
Very good. Anything that we've missed? Things that I haven't asked you want to say? Wonderful. Okay.
Thank you.
The last thing, you too.
Boring, brutal circus. If I can sum up anything from today, it'd be that. Full courtroom. Jury deliberations, wah, wah, wah. 2.5 years later, $1,500 an hour getting paid to prosecute Sara Walton Brady. for standing on wood chips. What is the point of them spending our resources doing all this stuff?
A lot of times, you know, the court will have their decision already figured out.
Totally.
And you're just going to the hearing to work out some detail of fact that might, you know, whatever. So
Yeah.
it would probably take him 3 weeks to write up his order.
Judging from the sentencing here, it already looks like they've already got like a sentencing or like a verdict figured out, and they're just gonna wait another 3 weeks for this ridiculous deliberation.